Okay. I think I'm live on, okay, yes, I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on Instagram. Let me add my topic. Guys, this always takes some talent to go live on two streaming platforms at the same time. Okay, I'm pinning it. Hello. Okay. Hi, you guys. Today is a live stream session. I was chatting with my Turkish friend Bora, and I asked him what the topic should be, and he said you should do a Q&A. And so you can do one with languages, you can ask me about my life, whatever. But if you want to join me live today and chat a little bit, you can do that on YouTube. I'm not going to join people from my Instagram. I will try to answer some questions from Instagram, but I will give priority to people on YouTube for both questions and joining me. Okay, so my YouTube is Learn English with Camille. If you don't know me, I teach English online. I am originally from the United States. I have 3 kids, I'm married, and I live in Portugal. And we are waiting to get our residency here in Portugal, and we've been waiting a year and a half. And we were missing some fingerprints, and so I had to do my fingerprints. That's why my hands are black. It did not come all the way off. You guys, it's not always easy being an immigrant and having to go through all of the bureaucratical things, but I can't get around it. I have to do it, so I'm doing it. So if you guys have questions, you can feel free to ask me them. I see one here on my YouTube, so I will answer that. And Fatna, if you want to join, if anyone wants to join and ask their question live and chat a bit, you can use the link here on my YouTube channel. It's there. It's not pinned, is it? It should be pinned. Okay, it is pinned. So it just says join here. I will see you waiting kind of in the background, and then I'll accept you to join and we can chat, and it's more engaging that way. And yeah, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'll still answer your questions. So Fatna says, I think she means, can you tell me? She said, can you tell me how I can improve my language in English? That's a pretty broad question, and I have so many thoughts on that. I could speak for 5 hours. So let me just tell you a few things, or if you have more specific questions that I can answer, that would be helpful as well. So improving language learning, I think some of the biggest things are consistency. You have to engage with the language every day. If you're in a beginner level, you need so much input. Input means listening, 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 so much input. And that will help you later down the road with speaking and writing. So input can also come from reading. So reading and listening. And listening can come through just podcast, radio, music, or it can also come through movies, series, YouTube videos, live streams like this. And also, if you're a beginner, you need more slow content, slow English content. Because if you are a beginner language learner, this is in any language, and you're trying to listen or learn with something that is harder, way harder than your level, you will feel discouraged and you will probably stop learning. So it's hard to understand movies and series when you're a beginner. So that comes later down the road. So constant input is my biggest thing every single day, having input with the language. So reading and listening, that's a good place to start. Okay, thank you, Amir. I just want to thank you for your content and videos. You are awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Lucinda on YouTube says, I'm a native speaker of English from England, and I also speak Spanish. How many languages do you speak? So I'm a native American English speaker from the US, and I learned Spanish first, then Italian, then Portuguese, then French, and now Turkish. So I speak them all at varying levels. and I make mistakes, a lot of mistakes in all of them. My goal isn't for work, it's for fun. So, like, I just hosted my Italian and Brazilian friend for 4 days at my house. We spoke Italian, we spoke Portuguese, we spoke English, and it was a lot of fun. So, I love learning languages. Okay. I heard, Musa, about the earthquake that happened because I have a lot of friends in Istanbul. Several of them messaged me and told me, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Please stay safe. Okay, if you're watching from Instagram and you guys want to join me and have some speaking practice and ask your question in person, come to Learn English with Camille on YouTube and just click the pinned link and we can talk that way. Okay, you guys, I have a question here. Hello, teacher. How can I learn vocabulary and stable in my brain? Okay, I think you mean like, how can I learn vocabulary to where it sticks in my brain and I know it? So this one is a tough one because vocabulary, it changes. I mean, vocabulary is huge. I would say, first of all, use and learn the vocabulary that you'll use, okay? So don't be studying from big lists of vocabulary for something that's irrelevant. You'll waste your brain space. So I would start, of course, with the basic vocabulary of just basic things, numbers, colors, greetings, those kind of things. And then as you're reading, like I talked about input. So as you're reading, as you're listening, you're going to see vocabulary that's used, right? So that is a good way to learn vocabulary through context, through phrases. So, or if you're talking to somebody and they say something and you don't know it, be like, what does that mean? And maybe write it down, take a note of it, and that way you can practice using that and learn that. It's a fun way to learn vocabulary. I know people like vocabulary apps and things. I personally have a hard time with them. So I always learn vocabulary through listening and reading, like natural context. And then you have to use it and you have to see it a lot. Sometimes I forget words that I'm like, I knew this, I forgot it. So it just takes a lot of practice. Don't be hard on yourself. Bonjour, Camille. Bonjour. Okay. Let me see. Oh, that's great, Lucinda, that you do mostly singing in your second language and have basic conversations in Spanish. That's amazing. I don't see any more questions. Oh, thank you that you love my videos with my kids. You guys, I filmed, I think, 10 videos with my kids, 4 videos with my friends. So I have a lot of new reels coming out soon. So I'm excited about that. Little by little. Let me go check. Okay, this is okay. I do see a question on here, YouTube from Sanket. Every time I speak English, I don't feel confident. How can I overcome this? I think that's a common struggle. So I think knowing that, hey, like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay that you struggle with this. It's good that you recognize it. I think the power of our minds is so important. So the dialogue you have with yourself is so important. So start speaking to yourself positive things like, I am confident when I speak English. I can speak English. It's okay if I make mistakes. I'm going to do this. Imagine yourself having a good, like, confident, successful conversation in English. And then also, I think when you're going to speak with somebody, you can have some questions to ask them. That way, you ask a question and then they're speaking, and you can kind of relax a little bit and you don't feel the pressure. I think that's helpful. And then asking people to speak slower if you don't understand as well, I think is like really a good thing to do because people speak fast. I always say this with my language friends that I have phone calls with. I'm like, please slow down, slow down. I didn't understand. And it's okay. So I think it's just part of the process, you know? So my tips for trying to feel or to have more confidence with speaking English are those things. Speak to yourself, practice, be okay with making mistakes, Have fun with it. Ask people to speak slower. And I think the more you do it and the more you put yourself out there, the more confidence you'll have as well. Okay? Okay, you guys. So I am giving priority to my YouTube questions. So as long as I keep seeing questions on my YouTube channel, Learn English with Camille, I'll answer those. As soon as those are answered, I will answer from Instagram. I also see now one of my followers slash becoming my friend because he's here every week that I go live is here. And so I will add him to the stage, and I think he has a question as well. Okay, let me see. Eltac, I'm adding you to the stage. You are muted and your video is off. Hola, ¿qué tal, George? ¿Todo bien aquí? ¿Cómo estás? Hi, Edison from Colombia. Maybe I've spoken to you.
Hi.
Hi, I have black fingers because I did fingerprints yesterday. I felt like a criminal, you guys. I went with gloves to the store because I didn't want anyone to see. They were so bad yesterday. They were like black. And so it's just part of the immigration process. Okay, so do you have any questions for me, Eltac? How are you doing?
Not actually specific. Okay, I want to ask questions. I speak. I understood everyone, and but actually, when I listen to something, I understood. I have some problem. I want to speak high level, high vocabulary. For instance, when I speak, my vocabulary simple. I use simple words.
Yeah.
This is my problem right now. I try to how can I explain? Go on. Continue. How can fix it? For instance, when I want to speak with people, I want to use many phrasal verbs. For instance, because no, this is great way if we use phrasal verbs. How can we handle it, and how can we use directly this the vocabulary? Also, I know much. Also, I know much high vocabulary. But when I speak, I cannot. I cannot use a lot. I know, but when I speak, I cannot remember exactly.
Yeah, that's normal. That happens to me too. It's a normal process for the language learner, you guys. You're not crazy if you forget the vocabulary you learned. It's normal, you guys, really. I have 6 languages in my brain. I forget all the time. So I think, first of all, just being kind to yourself and knowing that it's normal. It's normal to forget vocabulary words. I was with my friend, like that was just here, my Italian friend, and there were some like basic vocabulary words or like food things. I just haven't used them in so long that I forgot, you know? I was like, oh no. So I think to help you with that, it takes a lot of practice. And if you're wanting to incorporate phrasal verbs, which are a higher level, you should do my phrasal verb course to help you, by the way. But I think it's spending a lot of time with those phrasal verbs and being comfortable and knowing how to use them in context. Because it can be tricky with phrasal verbs because many of them have more than one meaning too, you know? A phrasal verb can mean more than one thing. So I think trying to not learn so many at one time as well. So learn the most maybe common ones and learn them well so that they're natural in your conversation, and then learn more, you know? So like little by little learning more. If you're wanting to have a higher, more sophisticated level of English, I think if you're consuming content that is more intelligent, if you're reading books that are more like school based, you'll have more of a formal vocabulary and be able to speak.
I read every day. I read only one magazine. Also try to read 15 or 10 page some books. Yes,
Yeah.
I choose every day some
Yeah.
books, and when I finish, I choose another book.
That's
And I know it helps to me a lot. I know, but I only right now want to do. I want to speak high vocabulary. Yes, this is my problem only.
okay.
This
So another thing I'm going to suggest to you if you're wanting to speak a more higher level of vocabulary is to practice writing. Do you
right.
do you practice your writing?
Yeah, because next month I have give some test, IELTS test, and for that
Okay.
reason, yes,
Yeah.
I write every day
That's
some
really good. So
some
when you're writing,
fantastic articles. Yes,
that's really good because when you're writing, you have more time to think. When you're speaking with somebody, you're not going to sit there. What was that word that I learned last month? Oh, I can't remember. You know, you just don't. You just go with the easier word because you can't remember the ones you don't use as much. So with writing, though, you have more time. So challenge yourself when you're writing to try to use those higher vocabulary words because the more you see them, the more familiar they are and the more they'll stick in your brain. So you could even take a few new words like synonyms to basic words, take a more advanced word, write a paragraph, you know, in context and include that word in there. Write sentences with that word. Just seeing the word, seeing the word, seeing the word over and over will help it stick in your brain.
yes. Also, for instance, right now my writing score, my teacher gives a score 6.5 or about 7. Also, I want to add this writing. I want to get 8.5 or
Yeah,
8. Yes.
that's
For that,
amazing.
I do everyday practice, and also maybe you know me actually. When I joins first time, I cannot connect with people easily. I have some speaking problem, but right now I speak with people easily and communication
Yeah,
ability
yeah.
high.
You've
Yeah,
grown a lot. You've grown a
yeah.
lot since I first spoke with you
And
several months ago. Keep going.
inshallah, inshallah, in the future, I will travel your country, and this is my personal dreams. I want to
Oh,
meet with you, in the
oh, that's amazing. Yeah,
inshallah. Uh,
inshallah.
and
That's so good.
you take some interviews from people, and I want to tell my story. Thank
Okay,
you,
we can do it.
inshallah.
That would be great. Thank you so much for joining again, Eltac, and I wish you
Thank,
the best with your English. Keep going, okay?
thank you very much.
Yes, take
Glad
care.
to meet you again.
You
Yes,
too. Bye.
thank you.
You guys, if you're watching from Instagram, hello. I'm doing a Q&A and I'm taking questions mostly from YouTube. And then when I run out, I will take them from Instagram. If you want to join and speak with me, you can go to my YouTube channel, Learn English with Camille. And I have Cassia here. Oh, nope, she's gone. I have El Calde here, maybe with a question. I just joined him. Hello, how are you?
Oh, teacher, good afternoon, good evening from my side, and I hope you are doing great.
And you're your little baby there.
You have a lot of around me. I'm sorry for my background. There is a lot of noise. I really apologize for that. And my question for you, I don't want to waste your time. Like my question for you related to like will. How can we use will? Like I get like notification or information about using will. Like when you like to do. Uh, well, to use it like spontaneous without preparation. So I will travel to UK. Like,
Uh-oh, you're breaking up a little bit.
is it good right now?
Okay, it's good. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we use the word will in several ways in English. So we use
Ve-
it to talk about the future. That's the most common, you know that, right? Like I will, they're so cute. Hi guys.
yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, carry on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so we're using the word will to talk about the future. I will go to the store tomorrow. I will go to the store in an hour. So will, talking about the future. We also use it when we're offering to help somebody. Like, I will help you with your homework. We say that like as a promise, sort of. I will help you. I'll help you tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll call you later. I will call you later. So, like a promise. And it also is like a future type thing as well. So, also, you're right. There's just so many ways with will. I'm thinking like we use it to show willingness for something, like he will drive us to the airport. He will help us with our project. Someone is willing to do something. We use will. Also, we use it for predictions. Predictions like it will rain tomorrow. We're like predicting that, or we could use it when we think something is like certain, like you will love this movie. You will love this movie. It's like a prediction I'm making. Oh my gosh. So we've already used for. Let me think. How else do we use will? I think I will go to bed. Like a decision in the moment of speaking. Like, I think I will shut down this live now. Like, I'm kind of thinking, deciding in the moment. So I think that's 5. I think those are the main ways we use the word will. Was that helpful for you?
Yeah, that makes sense. By the way, like to use will, spontaneously, or when you're planning to, like when you're planning to do, like I'm going to. The difference between going to and will, like will, use it spontaneously without preparation for your trip or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Going to, like you prepare, you take a ticket, or you prepare yourself. That makes sense. By the way, this is my point of view.
Okay, yeah, for sure, for sure. Good. I'm glad that was helpful. I hope you will continue to use will a lot.
Thank you for having.
Yeah.
I
Thank
really
you so much
have a.
for joining. It
Yeah.
was nice to see you again. Take care, little babies. Bye. Oh, you guys, if you're watching from YouTube, I'm taking questions mostly or if you're watching from Instagram, mostly on YouTube, I'm taking questions. I have a little list. Let me go catch up. Emra, you're asking, how can I forget English? I don't think that makes sense. I don't think you want to forget it. I mean, you can forget a language, though, by not ever using it. That'd be the best way. Don't immerse yourself with it. Don't read anything, watch anything, listen to anything, talk to anybody, and then you probably will forget it unless it's your native language. Then it's really impossible, or a lot harder, I want to say. Elnaz, you say, please bring me up. I can if you click the link in this little box here, the pinned link, then you are joined backstage and then you can come up. Let me see. I don't have any more questions that I see here, or I don't know. Let me see. Sorry, Alexander. I missed are the words contemporary, and I don't actually know that other word, synonym. I don't know it. I've never seen it before, so I can't answer your question. I'm so sorry. You guys, I don't know every English word, clearly. Let me see. I have Elnaz who's here who wants to join. So I just added you. And then if you have a question, you can ask me a question. Hi, I see from Kazakhstan, from Turkey, from South Africa, so many different people watching from Instagram. So nice to see you guys. If you guys want to join and practice some speaking or ask a question, you can come to my YouTube, Learn English with Camille, and I will help you. Oh, I don't know what's happening, Elnas, but I think your connection is weak because it's just showing the a black screen with like the spinny circle trying to get you here. Oh, I do see another question here. Is it okay to translate from our native language to English? Sometimes I tend to do that when I get stuck while speaking. I just did a whole long form YouTube video about translating from your native language to English. And I think, of course, in the beginning, it's totally normal. I mean, everyone does it. You have to do it. But I think with time, your goal should be not to do it. You know, your goal should be just to speak without thinking. Like, I couldn't imagine if I had to think phrase by phrase every time I went to speak Portuguese. That would be exhausting. So it's exhausting for your brain. The best way to stop translating from your native language into English is to get better in English, right? So immersing yourself in English as much as possible and trying, like, this is a fun tip, like, instead of thinking of things in the other language, you think of them in the language that you're learning, like vocabulary. Okay, so instead of thinking like this is a mug or a cup, you can say, this is the city I live in. Instead of thinking of it in your native language first, just think of it as mug, cup when you look at it. Or you see a cat in the street and you just think cat. Don't think your native word, your native language for cat. So start trying to just think to yourself even in English. That will help you tell yourself what you're doing, what you're wearing, where you're going. The more you can think in English, the better you will be at not translating from your native language. That's a really good question. Cassia, it's normal to be nervous when you speak. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's a challenge. It's a challenge for sure. Okay, you guys. If you have more questions on YouTube, I'll take those. Let me go to my Instagram. Oh my gosh, do I have? Sorry, this is awkward trying to reach here. I'll try to scroll up. Do you think it's good that I always watch movies? Mohammed asked on Instagram. Yeah, I think it's okay to watch movies. I think it's a great way to learn. I think if you're engaged and you enjoy it, that is a huge thing when it comes to language learning. So do what you enjoy. But obviously, just watching movies, if you're not practicing the other skills of speaking and writing and reading, you're going to grow the strongest in your listening skills. So try to practice the other skills as well to grow in all of those. Oh, I see I have Jennifer here. I'm going to add her to stage. Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Where are you calling from?
I am from Brazil,
I
and
would,
you.
yeah.
I've been following you for like so long. You've been helping me with English for like a long time, so I love your content.
Oh, thank you so much. Brazilian would have been my first guess for you.
Really?
Yes.
So, all right.
What city do you live in Brazil?
I live in a very small city, so probably you wouldn't know, but I'm from Mato Grosso, which
Oh, yeah,
is,
I've heard of Mato Grosso.
yes, I'm from
Mhm.
Mato Grosso in a very small city here. So
Nice.
it's basically nobody would know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what do you have any questions for me today?
Uh, you're a polyglot, right? And I also like to learn languages. I learn English, Spanish, and French. And I would love to know, like, what do you usually do to maintain like contact, to keep having contact with these languages, like on a daily basis?
That is a great question. I actually love talking with other polyglots and picking their brains too because it's fun. So, and not every method works for every polyglot. People do different things. So, I don't maintain all of my languages like super well. Like my Spanish, I feel like right now is not very good. We just spent a week in Spain and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Portuñol now because I haven't been practicing,
Yeah,
you know.
I think it's impossible to maintain contact with all the languages at the same time, right? Because
It,
it's languages. So
it, it's,
three, it's easier, but like
yeah.
six languages, it's so hard.
Yeah, I think the key though, one of the key things is to learn each language to at least a B2 level. Because when you learn a language to a B2 level, it's harder to forget it. You can still forget it, but it's harder.
Yeah,
If you learn a language just to B1, A2, you're going to forget it probably, like if you don't
I
use it. Yeah, so that would be my number one tip. Learn to B2 before you start a new one.
Before, for example, do you learn like German? I don't know.
I don't speak German. I haven't learned German.
German, I think, would be like my next language that I think I have a little curiosity to learn German, but I don't know. So I want to get to B2 in French, which was the last language that I started to learn. And once I get, then I will start a new language because
Yeah.
I don't know.
Perfect. That's perfect. Another tip is to have friends, like actual legit real friends that speak those languages. Like my Italian friend was just here. She's one of my best friends. So we're speaking Italian, you know, and it's helping it come back to my brain, you know. And I have friends in all of the languages that I speak. So when I see those people and talk to them in their language, it's coming back to me. Even though it's a little rusty, sometimes it's not so good. I forget. It helps a lot to have friends that speak.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then something I do is like a mini boot camp, I call it. I mean, I went to France last November and my French was a little rusty. And I just spent like 6 weeks, every day French, having phone calls, listening to French, reading my French books. And then I went to France and I was able to speak French and I felt good. And it was because I did like that kind of intense 6 weeks before.
Little preparation before, I think it's very important, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So at any time, if you're like, oh, my language is kind of slacking, this one I need to get better at, like if I want to, because I do it for fun. I'm not doing it to like impress anyone or like I don't need it to teach or anything, you know? So if I feel like getting better in a language, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to focus on this language this month or this week. I'm going to for sure have a phone call this week in this language. And that helps kind of keep it fresh in my brain.
In fact, that is why I'm here right now, because I've been wanting to practice my speaking in English for like a while, and I feel like I really need to. So it's just like you're saying, when you want to be better at some language, you just have to focus on that one language for a certain period of time,
Yeah.
and then you're good.
Yeah. Exactly. And your English is amazing, by the way. You're doing a great job. Your pronunciation
Thank you
is
so
great.
much.
You seem to have definitely put in the work to get where you are. How old are you, by the way? Because you look so young.
I'm 17. I'm very
Oh
young.
my gosh. You're incredible. Gosh, I
Thank
started
you.
learning Spanish, my first foreign language, when I was 27. So 10 years after your age. So, girl, you can learn as many languages as you want.
Well, thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
very happy to be here. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. I think you're amazing. Keep going. Don't give up. Yeah, believe in yourself. And I hope that you can travel to these countries to be able to use your languages too. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, you guys, that was so inspiring. She was a 17-year-old Brazilian. Her English was incredible. She also speaks Spanish. She's getting her French up to a B2, and then she wants to start with German. I love languages, you guys. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry you couldn't join. You guys can join though if your connection is strong enough by clicking the link in the pinned link in the comments here on YouTube. I don't have anyone in line, so you're welcome to join. I can take a couple more people before I close this live session. Hi, Ibrahim Mora. Mimi, okay, and also Cassia. This is a question here on YouTube. It says, I listen to podcasts, should have an S, read books in English, I learn new vocabulary every day, but when it comes to speaking, I'm stuck, okay? So this is a normal thing, Mimi, don't worry. Think you're weird or crazy, it's normal to be stuck. Speaking is tough. It's tough. So you're not alone. Some tips I have for improving your speaking. I mean, listening is a big one. You can improve your speaking by listening because you hear the natural rhythm of the language, you learn new expressions, new vocabulary, and then you have to speak. So nobody can speak English for you. Sometimes I want to put a Turkish person in my mouth so they can speak Turkish for me, but that will never happen. So we have to put in the work. If you're really intimidated to speak, find a group or find a person or find a tutor or a teacher that you mesh well with, that you get along well with, and then you have a safer space. When you have a safe space, you feel freedom to speak. It's very awkward if you're just starting to speak. It's very awkward. It's uncomfortable. Your mouth isn't going how you want it to, your tongue. People struggle with a lot of sounds, especially the TH in English. So that's normal. Once you have that safe space, little by little start speaking. You can also speak to yourself. You can also shadow, which means copying an accent that you like, just trying to copy it. You can also read out loud. Reading out loud will help you sound more fluent and fluid when you're speaking. So I recommend all of those things. Do a mini challenge boot camp for yourself with speaking. Say every day this week, I'm going to speak for 2 minutes. I'm going to leave a 2-minute message. 2 minutes. You can do that. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes adds up over time. So I think be kind to yourself too. Okay, Mimi? I hope those speaking tips help. I see Felipe here. I'm going to add him to stage. His name seems very Brazilian. Are you from Brazil?
Yeah, for sure. Good morning.
Nice. I love my Brazilian audience. I just filmed a reel with my friends yesterday, and my friend is from Brazil, so it was fun. Okay,
Thank you.
Felipe.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, you're very welcome. I'm glad you're here. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, for sure. And my question is, how can you learn in a nutshell? Can you give me an answer, a little review? How can you learn? Because I'm improving my English skills every day because I teach my kids at home, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning Spanish right now, and I
Mm.
want to learn other languages too, uh,
Okay.
French and Russian. And you speak other languages, and
Yes.
in my mind, I sometimes I want to learn Turkish too,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Turkish, Arabic, and I'm learning Hebrew, but just for reading my
That's
Bible.
that's so
Yeah, but
cool.
I want to learn modern Hebrew too
Yeah.
for engage and um, know other people from Israel or all over
Mm-hmm.
the world. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Can
So you
you
want to,
give me this
yeah,
this short answer, if it's possible?
I
Actually,
know. I mean, I talked a lot about language learning so far. I've given tips for speaking, for improving vocabulary, my some of my basic tips. So you're speaking as a general learner, how can somebody learn a new language in a nutshell, right?
yeah,
That's your question? Okay.
yeah.
So,
For example, how can you do your daily routine? For example, it's
okay.
helped me a lot.
Okay. I can give some tips for incorporating language learning into your daily routine. I can do that. I don't know if it'll be in a nutshell. I'll do my best. I'm just speaking
Okay.
from my own experience of, I guess, 12 years of language learning, 6 different languages. And language learning is evolving because technology is evolving. So when I learned Spanish, it was old school. I had textbooks and I went to a classroom and I lived with a family in Mexico. Completely different how I'm learning Turkish now, 10, 12 years later, because of now we have AI, we have chat, GPT. I learn a lot with that. So I think in the beginning, though, it always starts out with knowing your why. Why do you want to learn a language? Because
Yeah, my
it,
goal.
yeah, what's your goal? Why do you want to learn? You have to have that in your mind because just to say, I'm going to learn Arabic, and then you're like 1 month in and you're like, I'm not going to learn it because it's too hard. You know, most people quit. A lot of people just quit language learning because it's hard. They think the beginning things might be easy. The first greetings and things like, oh, yeah, I can do this. Hello, how are you? My name is. But then once you get going, it's tough. You have your plateaus. So I think knowing your why is really important. Why are you wanting to learn these languages? And then having a solid plan to help you as well. I think connecting language learning to habits and things you already do. It seems like you read your Bible, so maybe you can start reading some verses in your target language too. Maybe just one or two, because that's more of an advanced thing, reading your Bible in another language. Maybe during your commute to work, you're listening to a beginner podcast. I think people can use that like empty time where you're washing the dishes or doing chores to actually listen. Take that time to listen to a podcast, listen to music in your target language. When you're going for a walk, you're going to the gym, it's a great way to listen as well. Some people don't like that. They just want to go to the gym and not worry about language learning. But if you're needing like time, you know, if you're like, I don't have time, it's a good way to squeeze it in without doing anything extra. And then I think setting the same kind of time where you study every day. Do you learn well in the morning or the evening? Set a study space, the same spot, maybe not on your bed where you can just fall asleep, but maybe at like a desk or at a table or at the library where you know every day I'm going to spend this amount of time. Set a time goal for yourself. Is it 15 minutes? Is it 30 minutes? What can you do? Because everyone's schedule is different. And then have a plan. What are you going to be doing during that time? Many people spend their whole time looking for things to do, and then they did nothing with the language. So try to be efficient with the time that you have. Maybe you're dissecting a podcast, maybe you're watching a YouTube video, maybe it's a grammar topic. So just having your plan laid out for you will be really helpful. Consistency, day after day, like consistency. You have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, having a little bit every day, you can give yourself breaks. You can take a week off, you can take a day off, it's fine. But overall, you're not going to learn if you're not consistent. If you're like, this week I'll learn English, and then you take 5 months off. Again, I'm learning English. I know students like this all the time. They do it. They get excited. They study for 1 week or 1 month or two, and then they quit because it gets hard. So having someone to hold you accountable, like a teacher, maybe you don't have much money to spend. So you could just meet with a teacher every 2 weeks for 30 minutes, you know, so at least you have some consistency. And ask your teacher, can you give me homework assignments in between that you can work on? Or can you give me, help me construct a plan for myself that will work? Those things are definitely good. Again, trying to have all 4 skills that you're working on: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. All of those work together to help strengthen each other. But if you're just doing one of them, you will be weaker in the others as well. So I guess if your goal though is just to read, then that's fine. If you don't want to learn how to speak Hebrew and you're just learning it for reading, then you don't have to practice the other skills. Just focus on reading. So knowing, your why and what you're wanting to learn will be huge. Celebrating your success, celebrating the little victories is so important. Being proud of yourself, rewarding yourself is really important. And enjoying it. If you can enjoy it, then it's like a hobby and it's fun. You know, if you hate it, you're probably not going to learn very well. You know, it's always going to be a struggle. So try to fall in love with the language that you're learning as well. Yeah, that's not a nutshell. I did my best.
Yeah, it was great, and thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to talk with you a little bit.
Thank you so much, Felipe. Thank you for your question. I hope I gave you some helpful tips.
Okay, have a great day and God bless you.
God
You
bless.
and your family.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Okay, you guys. I have I have Marcia here, and I know she's Brazilian too. You guys, this must be just the Brazilian time to go on YouTube because I have, yeah, 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3, and also unique in different ages. And girl, boy, girl, it's fun. Hi, Marcia.
Hi, Camille. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I got a cold last
Oh,
week.
oh, you got a cold. Oh
I
no.
think I think it's because of the weather. The weather is changing, right?
Yeah. Yes, it's a common time. Like there's a lot of cold here as well. You guys, I had to do my fingerprints yesterday. So I had to do them myself and it's my black ink that's on my hands. It was terrible yesterday. Today it's a lot better. It was crazy. I wore gloves yesterday so no one would see. I had to do my fingerprints because I'm a criminal. No, because I needed to do for immigration, I had to do a criminal background check, and that is how they do it. And so it's the only way I had to do it. I did not want to. It was not fun, but I did it, guys. Okay.
So
Um,
you already has the documents from Portugal, the IDs?
no, it's the last thing. That's it. We were supposed to have them and they messaged us and said we need new ones because we had old ones and they said we need them new. So we had to redo them and send them to the US, get them apostolized, send them back here, and then we should have our residency.
I
Fingers
know
crossed.
it's a lot of I don't know how to say in English, bureaucracy,
Yeah, it's a lot of bureaucracy and it's not fun.
bureaucracy.
Anyone who lives in another country, which I'm sure there's a lot of you watching, knows it's the not so fun about living overseas is the bureaucracy. And every government functions differently, requires different things. And I'm just thankful that I have some solid Portuguese to be able to understand what's going on. I couldn't imagine if I was living in a country where I didn't speak the language at all. That would be stressful. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
Do you have any questions today, Marcia?
Yeah, I saw your podcast with the guy who is a polyglot. It's an old guy. I don't know his name. Sorry.
Yeah, I can see his face too. He's so famous. Maybe Calvin knows. Is this Steve Kaufman? Steve Kaufman.
I
Yes.
think I think so.
Yeah.
And I remember he telling you that he needs to trust your brain, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about if you immerse yourself and if you hear, I think a lot, listen to, I think a lot of English,
Hmm.
your brain will learn naturally.
Yes, I love Steve Kaufman's approach to language learning. If you guys don't know who he is in his, I feel like he's 70 and speaks 20 plus languages. I did a live stream with him a while back on Instagram and I published it on YouTube. He is like a
Mhm.
master language learning and he has such a chill, laid back response because he does it for fun too, and he
Yeah,
is all about natural input. Natural input is the best way to learn a language. And I'm definitely on board with that for sure. I will say for me, learning Turkish, I've studied more grammar than I've ever studied with any other language because
really.
I realized it's so different from English. And so I was very confused. I had to learn some grammar, and it's helped me so much with understanding the language as well. So
Yeah,
I think every language is different, every person is different. Maybe it's your fifth language you're learning, or maybe it's your first. So there's so many variables for every single person.
I know. For me, it's very challenge. It's very difficult to learn a new language,
Yeah,
and I'm planning to learn only English. English for me is enough.
that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
I'm already 47. No,
Oh,
my
wow.
brain is getting old.
No, Steve is still learning new languages at 70. So it's
Oh,
possible.
okay.
Yeah, it's possible if you want to, though. If you don't want to learn
Yeah,
many languages, don't do it. Only do what you want to because it is a huge commitment. You have to spend thousands of hours to learn. So I do it because I love it and it's fun and it's frustrating and it's challenging and it's messy and it's beautiful. There's so many things with it.
You embarrass yourself a lot
Oh,
of time.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, but it's fun. Like you said,
Yeah,
it's fun.
yeah.
And I heard it, I heard you saying to the Brazilian guy before me, and I think it's very important. You need to have a goal
Yeah,
because if you don't have a goal, you will give up.
yeah,
Like me, I need to learn English because I'm living here. I need to understand. I need to talk. So that's why
yeah,
I'm learning English.
yeah, yeah. That's so good. I think, yeah, because you could, even living in America, just find a Brazilian community and choose to be with the Brazilians, go to a Brazilian church, Brazilian
Search.
supermarket, restaurants, and never learn English, you know? So I think it's great that you're committed, even though you wouldn't have to learn. I think it's so good that you're learning. Every day you're making effort, you're progressing, and you know why. So it's awesome.
Yeah, and because I'm a teacher in Brazil, I was a teacher in Brazil actually,
Okay.
and I think that's the reason I'm still want to learn English because,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, there is a big community here,
Yes.
Brazilian community here. You
Yes.
can go to the Brazilian store, Brazilian restaurant. I go to Portuguese. I go to the church with a Brazilian, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a common thing to do. It's common. There are people groups you can find in most countries, and there is where you can just they're just you're I have to think. There are people groups in every country where you don't have to learn the local language. You can just find those people and speak your own language. It's true. But
Yeah.
there's so many benefits and richness to learning language of the land you're in. I would not want to be here in Portugal as an American and never have learned Portuguese. I would be sad. I would miss out
Yeah.
on opportunities. My neighbors don't speak English. I wouldn't be able to speak with them. They now give us eggs and vegetables from their garden, you know. I think speaking the language helps you connect with humanity and people, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's so frustrated when you heard something, someone is speaking something you were not able to understand, you know?
Yes, yes. And it
It's not
happens.
good.
Yeah, it happens to me even here in Portugal. The Portuguese accent is still
Hmm.
challenging. I don't always understand,
Yeah,
you know?
even for me, it's hard
Yeah.
to understand Portuguese people.
Yes, yes. But little by little, you know, I've had a lot of listening opportunities just with friendships, and we go to a Portuguese church, so we get Portuguese every week as well, and in that way, and I think it's good. Our kids go to a Portuguese schools, so they're not getting English in school. Yeah, it's a good
Mhm.
thing. Hmm.
I think they speak faster than us. I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, because they're having, you know, 7 hours a day of immersion in the language in school. So think about it. If you had 7 hours a day, you would probably
Yeah.
learn quicker too. I think it's partly
Yeah.
that. Hmm. And kids
Yeah.
don't care as much, like especially little kids, about making mistakes. And my kids, like being young, they can imitate well. Like their accent in Portuguese from Portugal is really good. I'm like, wow, you guys are gonna be great.
Hmm.
They speak way better than me, you know?
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
too. But I have been listening to your podcast every night.
Wow, that's
It's
amazing.
yeah, it's very
Thank
helpful.
you.
I love to hear you and your husband,
Yeah, we do our
Calvin,
podcast,
Calvin.
Calvin. Yeah.
And now you're doing a beginner conversation,
We
right?
did several beginner videos. Yeah. Because
Uh-huh. That's
when I think like it's so important, like for the beginner to have slow
mhm,
English, listen a lot, you know?
I
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
That's wonderful.
We're all a beginner, right? At some point. We all know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was so good to see you, Marcia. Thank you so much for joining.
Good to see you too, Camille. Thank you for
Take
having me.
care. You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Away with my
Bye.
black fingers.
It's okay. Bye.
Ciao, Alessio. Payeo, I don't do online conversation classes. I'm so sorry. I have books, dialogue books, short story books. They all have free audio. I know it doesn't help with your speaking unless you're reading them out loud or shadowing. I have those. Let me see. Você podia fazer mais vídeos em formatos podcasts falando sobre daily routine, sobre costumes dos americanos. Okay, yeah, I can do that actually. I think that would be interesting content. I like learning things through natural, real life, daily routine. You guys, it is time for me to go get my kids from school. So they're back in school this week, which is why I'm here doing a live stream. The last 2 weeks, my kids were off. We traveled to southern Spain and southern Portugal. We had a really nice time. And then I had friends here from Belgium, but they're not Belgian. And yeah, now it's kind of back to our daily routine here in Portugal. So, you guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for everyone who spoke. I will be back either next week or the following week. I try to go at least a couple times a month simultaneously here on YouTube and Instagram. So, you guys, I also have the last like 2 days of my Easter sale where all my books, all my PDF books, all my courses are 40% off, which is like the second biggest sale of the year. So you can click the link in my bio to order those. And thank you guys for your support, for your comments, for your messages. I get messages every day from people, and you guys are so kind. So thank you guys. I wish you the best with your language learning. I hope this live was helpful, and I will see you soon. I'm ending here, ending on my YouTube.